Yo, what's going on guys? It's Anime1 back here with another video, and today I'm here with another part of What If Naruto Was Neglected and ended up like Obito. So if you guys like the content in the channel, please subscribe to the channel, and also while you're at it, like the video. So let's begin the video. Gora and Menma, in an injured state, looked at each other. They both could not stand, and yet Menma crawled over to Gora to talk to him. I should just kill you if I could, Menma said in such a venomous tone that sent chills down Gaara's spine. Gaara looked at him. How are you so strong? Gaara asked. Menma looked at Gaara. He remembered how his brother was. He sighed. Rah. Oh, I am so strong, you ask. Because I want to protect my village. I want to protect Suki. You tried to harm her, and even Sakura at that stage, and I couldn't let you do that. I'll fulfill the promise that I gave to my brother, no matter what, Menma said. Gaara looked at Menma. So your strength comes from you trying to protect other people? Gaara asked. Menma closed his eyes, but he didn't answer the question. That was enough for Gaara. He knew that was a yes. But before anyone could do anything, Kankuro and Tamari arrived beside Gaara. Let's go, Gaara, they both said as they both carried him. Gaara on his way back looked at both of his siblings. Kamari, Kankuro, I'm truly sorry, said, and with that, they all went off. A few days later, the people of the Leaf were attending to the funeral of the third Hokage and the fallen comrades in the invasion, but the one who was the most devastated was Uchiha Suki. Naruto's death had hit her hard. She had not felt like this for a long time, not since her clan was massacred. Even the Namikaze family had nothing to say. They didn't know what to say. Kushina was crying. She was finally getting to know her son, but now her son wasn't alive anymore, and that was not possible. She wanted to say that she was sorry for everything that she'd done to him, but for that, he was not alive. For not giving him love when he was a child, beating him, not giving him food, letting the villagers beat him, and now that was not possible anymore. Minato was trying to comfort his wife. He got a report that Naruto had died to protect Menma and Suki, that Naruto did care for him, even if he didn't show it. All Minato could feel was guilt and anger. He wanted to cry, but he had to be strong for his wife and son. Minato thought about his son. It looked like Menma had a reality check. Menma finally knew what the shinobi world was. It was cruel. His brother had died to protect him. Even after all that he did to his brother still tried to protect him. Instead of being sad to repress his son, was more determined. Menma wanted to become strong so that people close to him won't get hurt anymore or even die anymore. The day Naruto died, Menma had made his ninja way to never give up and never let his comrades die. Top of a building, a masked man was watching the funeral. So, how does it feel to see your own funeral? Black Zetsu asked. He was beside the masked man. Naruto didn't answer his question and kept looking at the funeral. It's ironic, really. I really had planned this all out, but Menma's reaction to my death is not what I expected, Naruto said in his deep martial voice. You expected him to fall into despair, didn't you? But it looked like your death only motivated him to become stronger, Black Zetsu said as he chuckled. Naruto ignored him. It doesn't matter. He will be dead in 4 years anyway. Let's go, Naruto said as he stood up and vanished in a swirling vortex. Zetsu started to sink into the ground with a very ominous smirk on his face. Everyone went to their own houses and starting to rebuild the village, but one person was still there, Kakashi Hatake. He was at the grave of Obito Uchiha. You know, Obito, it's been a long time, but looks like I failed someone else too. I'm actually getting tired of this shit. I sent them all to the mission, knowing that how strong Gara was. I was foolish. I believed in them that they could handle him, but I guess me being naive cost others their life again. Honestly, I'm not sure if I'm cut out to be a sensei. Maybe I should go back to the Anbu, but Minato sensei won't allow that. I'm truly lost again, Obito. I failed someone again. I failed you, Rin, and now Naruto. Honestly, it's been a roller coaster with my life. Sometimes I'm really happy, and that times was with you guys and my team. Now, half of my team is gone, and it's actually really frustrating, Kakashi said. Then, someone appeared beside him. So, how long have you been here, Kakashi? Yugao said. Kakashi didn't turn to look at her. You're here to visit Hayate, aren't you? Kakashi asked. She nodded. Yes, he died in the attack, she said. Kakashi stayed silent. He didn't have anything to say to her. You didn't answer my question, Kakashi. How long have you been here? She asked. Kakashi looked at her. Since the morning, Kakashi said. That made you guys' eyes widen. You're not doing that anymore. You're coming with me, she said as he grabbed his arm and started to drag him to a dango shop. She wanted him to get out of this depressing state, so that was the best thing that she could do, offer him company. Minato was in his office, doing Kage's worst nightmare, paperwork. Honestly, he never had problem with paperwork because his shadow clone did them already. But this time, due to the village almost being destroyed, yup, the paperwork was a lot. Even with the shadow clone, he couldn't finish them as quickly as he could before. So right now, he was just banging his head on the table, thinking of what happened. Naruto's death, Hiruzen Sarutobi's death, all of that was straining him down. He had a bottle of sake beside him, and he didn't want to drink, but he still grabbed the bottle of sake and drank, and put it down. Call Jiraiya, Minato said, as the Anbu outside nodded and vanished. Jiraiya was peeping on the woman in the hot springs, like always, for his research purposes. And now, Jiraiya was cut off when Anbu appeared beside him. Jiraiya-sama, I don't want to interrupt you, but Lord Hokage has summoned you, he said. Jiraiya looked at the Anbu and nodded. I'll be there in a minute, he said, as he and the Anbu vanished. Jiraiya was in front of Minato. What do you want, Minato? He said. Jiraiya, look, people in the village are injured, and I'm talking big time injured. And Tsunade has gotten enough of her leave. If she doesn't come back to the village, I will hunt her down and kill her, if that's what it needs to be, Minato said. Jiraiya's eyes widened. Minato, you aren't thinking rationally, are you? He said, narrowing his eyes at the students. Minato sighed. No, I've had enough of this shit. I'm not bowing down to anyone, rather the villagers, Danzo, or anyone anymore. I'm not letting them control my life. Because of that, I've already lost my son. I'm not gonna let that happen again. no one in the village is gonna die until I'm Hokage, and no one is gonna be outside of my reign. Giving you the mission to find Tsunade and bring her back to the village, if needed, by force, Minato said. Jiraiya nodded with a sigh. As you wish, Lord Hokage, Jiraiya said. But before he disappeared, I will take the brat with me. Do you have any problems with that? Jiraiya asked. Minato shook his head. Do as you must, Sensei, but just bring Tsunade back. The village needs her now more than ever, Minato said. Jiraiya nodded. Don't worry, she'll come back. I'll make sure of that, Jiraiya said. Minato nodded. I believe you will, Sensei. Time skip 1 month later. To the surprise of Minato and Kushina, Tsunade did came back, but one thing was different. Menma had Tsunade's necklace around his neck. She didn't know why and how Menma got it, but Kushina was very happy that her mentor was back to the village, and she couldn't ask for anything more. Her being back in the village, that would make Minato's stress a lot less. Not only will she be a huge help in the medical department, it would also be a help since she would stay in the village and have a lot of political pull and help Minato fighting off the elders. And that's how it should be. Minato was dead serious. He wasn't as lenient as he was before as his Hokage. And now he was taking everything serious. He didn't take the shit from the elders, and if they try to say that he was gonna be disbanded as Hokage if they told the daimyo, he told them a straight answer. If they try to do that, he had more contact with the daimyo than they ever could hope to, and the elders knew that that was the truth. Minato was the sole reason that the village had won the Third Great Shinobi War and had gained so much funds and a land, and the daimyo really liked Minato, so there would be nothing that the elders could do. Their power was diminishing, and that was that. Dawn in the Hidden Leaf was always a sight to behold. Uchiha Suki was sitting on the rooftop of her apartment complex with her knees burdened to her chest. She was thinking over what happened yesterday. The Sound Force came to take her to Orochimaru, and they said if she wanted to leave the village and gain power, to meet them at the outskirts of the village. She didn't know what to do even if Orochimaru could give her power. She didn't want to go to him. She was one of the reasons why Naruto was dead. Her best friend was now gone because of that snake. But also meant except Menma and Kakashi, he was not that close to her. Maybe Menma was her rival, but they were nothing near as Naruto. If I go to him, I can get strong and kill both him and Itachi and Orochimaru. The only person that was precious to me in this village, for whom I would even give up my revenge, is now dead, Suki thought. As she got up, she had made her decision. Nothing could stop her anymore. Menma reappeared outside the Hokage's office just as Shikamaru was walking up to the door. He grumbled as he reached Menma. I wish I could use that jutsu. I wouldn't have to walk anywhere after that. Menma snorted beside him. I doubt you'd have enough chocolate to spare, he said. He knocked on the door, and after hearing the permission to enter, they both entered to see Minato sitting behind the desk, as if no end had asked him to get up at the 5 in the morning. Menma cut straight to the chase. What happened? She left on her own will, didn't she? Minato nodded, face grave and eyes blazing. Yes. One of our Jonins tried to stop him from leaving the village, but another man with 4 arms came and killed our Jonin, and that's how we found the body lying outside. And with Inoichi's experts, we were able to extract the dead man's memories. How could a guy like Orochimaru and Shikamaru? And Mac glared at his friend, shutting him up. That is not a priority at the moment. Our first and foremost objective right now is to retrieve Suki Uchiha. He turned to Minato. I request a team of a Chunin and Jonin for this mission. Minato's face became regretful. Sorry, son, but I can't grant that request. Ma raised an eyebrow. Why not? He asked. We only have bare minimum Jonin here to protect the village. All the rest are being sent out on missions. You'll have to do it with the Genins. Menma crossed his arms. I presume I stayed because of my situation, Menma asked. Minato nodded. That is correct. Now, I'll give you one thing I can at the moment. You have the freedom to choose your teammates for this particular mission. As only Jonin on this mission, you are the team leader. Menma. Menma nodded and turned to Shikamaru. If you're going to have to do this, best hurry to the round every tough guy among our remaining rookies, which sadly only one. The other is pretender and the last one is a cookie, quite literally. Shikamaru nodded. I think I know what you mean. I'll get started right away. As he turned to leave, Menma told him one last thing. You have 10 minutes to assemble who you can, Shika. I'm appointing you as the vice leader. And as soon as you can assemble everyone, you start on your pursuit. I'll catch up. Shikamaru's eyes widened. Wait, what did you? That's an order, Shikamaru. In a frustrated growl, Shikamaru asked him, and how the hell am I supposed to assemble who I have just in mind in 10 minutes? Wordlessly, 7 of Nma's shadow clones popped up around them. One of them grabbed Shikamaru and the rest of them disappeared in a flash as one. Nma turned to Minato with a frown. What's going on? I saw Kakashi last night. Why can't he accompany us? Minato shook his head. Kakashi has gone on a mission outside the village. You don't know because he went in early hours of the morning. He was supposed to leave in the evening, but I only allowed him to stay. As you go, yesterday came out from a mission quite injured, and he wanted to stay by your side. That's why I allowed him to stay. Menma bit back a curse at that. He took a deep breath and relaxed. Okay, you want Genin to go on an A rank, possibly a S rank mission. You'll be sending them all to their deaths, Dad. Minato simply looked at his son. What choice do I have, Menma? Minato snapped back in frustration. Menma glared at Minato before bowing his head in thought. Lifting it up, he requested, one last question. If I'm doing this, I want backup. I'm not risking my team like this. Minato nodded. Very well, you'll get the backup you need, but it'll take some time, Minato said. That was enough on Menma. He was promoted to a Jonin after his performance in the Chunin exams. He was able to use the Hiraishin, and not only that, he was the Kyuubi Jinchuriki who defeated Gaara, and that was a Jonin level feat. So the council had decided to promote him to a Jonin. Shikamaru was in a bind. After Menma had basically told him to scram, and if that was not enough, sent him off with his clones to help to gather up whatever team he had in his mind. At first he was annoyed, but when he asked the clone why couldn't they just flash to Suki and retrieve her, the clone had, in all seriousness, informed him that Suki didn't have the flying Raijin mark, which meant the Hiraishin was out of the question. Without wasting time, he had sent one of his clones to get Choji, Kiba, and Neji. He told the rest to dispel themselves. Shikamaru couldn't get Shino as the guy was on a special mission with his father. They could only have used his chakra absorbing bugs help. Lee would be a great addition to the team. However, he was still recovering from the surgery to put his limb backs together. However, Shikamaru wanted to pull his hair out when a clone that was sent to get Choji said that Akamichi had come down with a case of food poisoning, and as such, he won't be able to join the team. They were literally down to a four-man cell now, just like they had started in Ninja Carriers. After putting together a plan of pursuit, they had set off and even caught up to the Sound 4. Shikamaru's plan had worked to a point. They managed to trap one of them with the Shadow Position Jutsu. Unfortunately, the Sound 4 seemed to have a plan for that shocked Shikamaru to the core. They had greatly underestimated their opponents, and now they were stuck inside a Earth Dome prison. The fat guy named Jirobo, holding it from the outside and sucking up their chakra to the thick walls. Kiba yelled out in frustration, his claws digging up into his hair. Damn it! How longer do we stay inside? The more chakra the bastard is going to take from us. It sucked, and unintentional puns were not helping. Neji tried to remain his rational and calm demeanor. There must be some sort of weakness that we must find quickly, he muttered quietly, but the frustration was clear in his voice. What weakness? They had been inside for almost 15 minutes, and Shikamaru couldn't get any more of the chakra drained. He took a deep breath. Whatever he was about to say, he was interrupted by a thunder crackling on one of the dome, as if something had smashed with a brutal force on it. They all tensed up as the prison was starting to rumble, and eventually the walls fell around them, only to reveal they all had relaxed slightly, seeing Jorobo facing them with a blank look on his face, foreheads of which having been nastily bruised and small rivers of blood flowing down. The most significant thing, however, was that Akamaru to whisper slightly. That was the blade that was sticking out of the Sound Ninja's throat. It was clear to everyone that Jirobo was a dead man standing. The blade slid back, and Jirobo fell on his knees, followed by his upper body, his face kissing the ground rather ungracefully. They all looked up to see the eyes with cold as ice and sharp as a sword, the anger smearing in them like boiled lava in a volcano. Menma! Kiba cried out in shock as he saw Menma kill the Nin without any ounce of remorse on his face. How did you? Didn't give him any chance to prepare. Menma cut him off. As soon as I sensed him, I used my body flicker to get right to him and shove a blade right through his throat. The asshole was too absorbed in his monologue to see me coming. The nonchalant way he spoke about killing Jirobo was extremely unnerving, causing everyone except Shikamaru to question whether Menma was a quiet psychopathic killer. Kiba's face turned into a snarl. We might have had easier time if you had gotten here earlier, but Menma was already walking right past him. I need to ensure that we at least had some backup. I'm not going to get you guys killed because there is a sort of shinobi in the village. Now come on, we are losing our precious time and distance. He started to run, and the others assumed a formation that Menma had guessed that was Shikamaru's idea. The Sunin caught up until they're side by side. Menma, there's something you need to know. Taking his silence as Menma's listening, he continued. They have Suki in a coffin, sort of. We believe her to be still alive. Otherwise, it would make no sense for them to kill her. There are other three of them. We probably have to face them. and the number of opponents might include Suki if she really did it willingly, he reported, grumbling the last bit. You don't need to worry about Suki. I'll take her on, if it comes to that, Menma assured them. Shikamaru nodded at that. Menma was probably the only one in their team who could stop Suki. Naruto continued speaking in a loud voice so others could hear him. The lack of traps suggests that they expected a lot of you to be handled by the fat guy. That means we have a slight advantage, if not, only a slight. Kiba asked them in confusion, "What the hell are you talking about?" The element of surprise, they won't be expecting us to catch up with them so quickly. So we might have a bit of time to catch up with them, if that's not your plan. Not much though, you better hurry up, Menma said. Shikamaru looked at his friend. After the death of his brother, Menma has changed. He was now using his brain and was calm and collected at the most situation. He was what you would ideally call a perfect shinobi, one who would use his emotions when the time was right, but when it came to battle and mission, he would have a switch kill. He would have no emotions when it came to that. He didn't know how it happened, but Naruto died protecting Menma, and that hit Menma harder than he let so on. But Shikamaru sighed. There's nothing that could stop Menma, and he was sure of that. Even Suki, he was sure, wouldn't be able to compete with Menma. His Hiraishin was just too broken of an ability. So yeah, guys, I really don't want to cover the rest, since it all goes same as canon. Nezi battles the forearm guy, Shikamaru battles the Teiwaya, and Kiba battles Seikon and Ukan, and those fights go pretty much the same since none of them are here and there. They all are basically the same strength as they're in the canon. And about Kimimaru, the same thing happens. Rock Lee comes in the rescue for Menma, and afterwards the Sand Sibling come and back him up. That's all about it. So this is it for this video. Yep, there's not much of Naruto, but we also have to remember this is not only the story of Naruto, but also others. In this case, Naruto is more likely the villain of the story rather than the quote-unquote hero. So yeah, that's that. And the next chapter will be covering the battle between Menma and Suki, since they both are stronger than they were in canon. Suki because Naruto trained her for a bit, and Menma because he has the Hiraishin. He's much more smart than Naruto, and he has the full Kyuubi inside of him, so his chakra of the Kyuubi cloak will be much stronger. So yeah, that's all I have to say. So if you guys like this video, please like the video and also subscribe to the channel. So yeah, see you guys in the next video. Peace.